Joshua Jan, 29 years old, dead. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. I've obviously clearly and heavily censored this image right here, but this image is circulating without censorship on the internet. I'm not sharing it. I encourage you not to look at the uncensored version of this, but apparently the shooter shot himself after shooting or firing off a few rounds towards an ICE detention facility in Texas. Now, this ICE facility in Texas has regularly been the site of anti-immigration raid protests. Apparently, this sniper who posted up on an elevated position. We're not entirely sure exactly what roof, based on what we're seeing from the imagery here with some of that roofing. It looks to me like we're looking at this roof right here. Again, it's a little unclear to tell, but this roof would give you a perfect vantage point of where the ICE van was being unloaded, and then detainees were shot. Now, I'm confused because this individual, who the Daily Mail is confirming, according to reports from multiple law enforcement individuals, that this individual is Joshua Jan, 29 years old. Laura Loomer, which, very kind of, we have to be careful with the Loomer commentary, but she suggests that she was able to find a background check on him and found an image associated with sort of this communist hammer and sickle and profile picture that suggests potentially these communist style ideals. A lot of people circulating this idea that this was maybe a mentally ill video gamer, 29 years old, again, very common age where we seem to be seeing these shootings from, along with Robinson as well, younger in his 20s. Keep in mind, this is exactly what Charlie Kirk's wife was talking about, that the younger generations of men are being lost, that they are not being instilled with the ideals of family and children, and instead they're being left to their own sort of internet devices, coming up with this cultural or impression of superiority themselves, and then manifesting this frustration in frankly a shooting. And it's a mental illness. We need politicians to actually come out and stand for solving the issues related to mental illness, but that politicians will give their thoughts and prayers and then nothing will change. Kash Patel tells us that some of the unfired rounds had anti-ICE written on them. Apparently at 6:40 a.m., this shooter, rooftop sniper, killed 2 detainees, shot one other, and then killed themselves. I personally have a hard time reconciling why, if it says anti-ICE, you would end up shooting detainees, especially since detainees are not proven guilty yet. Like, frankly, if you looked Hispanic and you were at a Home Depot and you were you were born here, you were a citizen, your entire family citizens, you could, in theory, be rounded up by ICE. And then once you're processed, okay, you're a citizen, you'll be released. But just because you're a detainee, mind you, you do not have to be illegal. So we have to remember, these were not necessarily illegals who were shot. But again, I also have trouble reconciling that if the shell casings say anti-ICE, why are you shooting the people who were victims of ICE? So something doesn't really line up here. And then apparently the person shot themselves after they fired 3 or 4 shots. The FBI is not yet verifying the identity of this individual. Only the Daily Mail is. Obviously, targeted violence. They say there was an ideological motive behind the attack. And then, of course, Kash Patel is posting this image here, reiterating the ideological nature here. ICE, of course, saying, hey, this isn't going to deter us from our mission of deporting illegals. And of course, this, targets against ICE have been very common. There was, I think in here somewhere, they had an image of somebody who was arrested, this guy, for making a bomb threat against that same immigration processing facility. So it's clearly a political hotbed in that particular facility. But you see a lot of doxing of ICE officers. You see a lot of doxing of ICE family members. You see California passing laws saying ICE officers are not allowed to wear masks to conceal their identity in California. So again, leading potentially to more risk for those ICE officers. But here, no law enforcement officers injured, not even injured. So it is odd to me that somebody who's targeting ICE with anti-ICE ideology apparently doesn't actually target ICE. But I mean, again, we don't want to like pick and choose who's getting killed here. It's a good thing that fewer people are being killed. But imagine the person didn't end up killing themselves. That's what makes people nervous. Now, there are people who are circulating images. We don't know if this is correct. This is an image, apparently, of the individual also arrested for selling marijuana about 10 years ago. Lot circulating about this individual, about who it possibly could be. Daily Mail is confirming this. It's Joshua Jan. Here's his booking photo from 2015, which is, of course, leading people to say, here we go, potentially somebody who had tendencies that are abnormal or associated with mental illness. We don't know, but again, here, potential booking shot from 2015 for selling marijuana. Anyway, it's a disaster. It gives us some insight into what's going on and potentially the identity here of the individual that horribly shot and killed one detainee at least, injured 1 to 2 others, and then took his own life. So we'll see. But hopefully, not only do we get more details, but we get details that can help us prevent this in the future, and we get more than thoughts and prayers, and we actually get action from our politicians. It's what I ran for when I ran for governor in 2021. I ran for solving not only our mental health crisis by helping the people who have mental illness, but also teaching ME in schools. I ran a campaign on this, mind you. That's why we got almost 1 million votes. I said, hey, we teach PE in school. Why don't we teach ME in school? We teach physical education. Why don't we teach mental education in schools? Blows my mind. Maybe one day a politician will pick it up and institute those policies. I also ran for governor under the premise of using the National Guard to secure our streets and end homelessness. And this is exactly what the Trump administration is doing right now. And I'm all for it. All for it.
Knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.